Hi, gang. Hello, hello. There we are. Let me just frame myself up a little bit here. All right, the gang is all here. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, I'm live. We're doing it live. And I got a lot of things I want to share with you, but I hope you have a great day today. 45 and raining outside here in the Philly burbs, but the rain's going to stop at some point today, and I hope it doesn't intrude on your fun and your activities. So it is also a day to gather around the television, and that's really the theme. Let me begin with this. I said on radio this week, I didn't like it when it was like, oh, it's the Detroit Lions. It's Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. Now, all of a sudden, Detroit is hot, and it makes it a fun thing, right? It's Thanksgiving. It's pro football. Detroit is 10-1. Detroit is a 10.5 home fave as they host Chicago today. Philly's 9-2. They play in Baltimore on Sunday. I wonder if they're headed for a collision. Whether your team scores or not, there's always another way to win on the Play Gun Lake online casino and sportsbook app. It's from BetParks. It's the only app that I ever use and recommend to bet sports and play all your favorite casino games for real money in the state of Michigan. Get some skin in the game, bet sports, play all your favorite casino games for real money on the Play Gun Lake online casino app, blackjack, crap, roulette, all the fun stuff. Hot online slots based on favorite TV shows like Breaking Bad and Peaky Blinders. Download the Play Gun Lake app right now. Enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. New users, special deal. You'll get a $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. That's got to be wagered. PlayGunLake.com for details. Got to be 21 and in Michigan. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. So for the poll question today on Thanksgiving Day, I wanted to go lighter. I didn't want it to be on immigration. I didn't want it to be on the incoming cabinet picks and the economy and all the heavy stuff that we deal with day in and day out. I love today's poll question. I hope you'll be into it. This is like one of these, you're on a desert island kind of thing, and you can only pick one. If you could watch just one, which would it be? The National Dog Show or the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade? The Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Let's go there first. I'm monitoring NBC in my background as I'm speaking to you live because it begins within the next 30 minutes. The tradition began in 1924. John Coblin had a great piece in the New York Times that leads our newsletter today. Speaking of lightening the load, right? And by the way, the Macy's Parade has always been bucket list for me. I've never done it. I want to do it. I've got to figure out how best to do it, but it's something that I've always wanted to do. I should have done it years ago when I was guest hosting for Hardball, and I had that in at NBC because they control it, but I never did. But I'm not alone in loving this. From the Coblin New York Times piece, if history is any guide, the parade will draw, ready for this? More viewers than the Oscars, the Yankee-Dodgers World Series, or the most popular New Year's Eve telecast. Though it has been an annual staple in American living rooms and kitchens since the 1950s, the parade became the most watched entertainment show in the United States only over the past 3 years. Why is that the case? This is a great radio segment. Maybe I should have done it yesterday, but maybe I can still do it on Monday. Why all of a sudden is this surge in popularity of the Macy's Day Parade taking place? I have thoughts. I'll tell you in a moment. Let me read on. Other than some sporting events or marquee NFL games, which can draw more than 30 million viewers, maintaining an audience or even growing it is a rarity in television these days. Award shows like the Oscars, the Grammys, the Emmys have had seesawing ratings in recent years that are well short of their heights from a decade ago. I mean, I've made this observation many times that the fragmentation of our society can be seen in our cultural, namely television choices. We've all gone our separate ways apart from the Super Bowl, and it turns out the Macy's Day Parade. But think about how often, I'll just say it in my case, so often listeners or friends, family members will say to me, hey, are you watching this show? I'm binge watching this show. I'm like, I've never even heard of that show. When we had fewer choices, it was great water cooler conversation. We all watched and complained about the Seinfeld sign-off, right? So it's so rare when there's commonality and we're coming back together and watching the same thing. The parade, on the other hand, has delivered virtually the same audience since the 1980s, 20 million viewers each year, give or take. Last year, when viewership from an encore telecast and the Peacock streaming service was tallied up, the parade audience ballooned to over 28 million viewers, a new high. So why do you think? Why do you think we're gathering and watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Here's my theories. Here are my theories. I, of course, have no shortage of opinions. They may be wrong. Escapism. I think watching, those floats and the balloons, the inflatables. What's the word that I'm struggling to come up with? It's escapism. How much farther can you get from the 2024 election than to watch, Mickey Mouse floating down Fifth Avenue? So I think there's an element of escapism. That would be my first. My second would be the way that it's structured, I think suits our attention spans in that it's a 10-minute segment of a particular part of the parade and some banter. And then it's a commercial break. They're short, bite-sized pieces. It's also a nice backdrop because it's not that I sit there and intently watch this marching band from Arkansas. Right? It's playing. You're doing other things. It's in the background. It's cool. It's a nice tradition. It's a nice tradition. I love tradition. It's like today that'll be on in the backdrop. It's like, oh yeah, it's Thanksgiving Day. And what I love most is love the most is the fact that it cuts across all political lines, and those ratings for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade are not being driven solely in red states or solely in blue states. It's got cross political appeal. Everybody likes it. Everybody likes it, which explains why it's $900,000 for a 30-second commercial this year. Crazy, right? Nearly $1 million. So that's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. 8:30 Eastern Time until noon. Pardon me. But as Ron Popeil would have said, but wait, there's more, because then after the Macy's parade comes the National Dog Show. I love the National Dog Show. NPR has a story about the National Dog Show. This too is in the newsletter today. Thanksgiving Day isn't just about turkey. It's also about man's best friend. Each year, millions of Americans tune in. By the way, most controversial thing I will say to you today. Do you think they could ever sustain a popular show if it were the National Cat Show? I don't think so. Each year, millions of Americans tune in for one of the holiday's hairiest and most beloved traditions, the National Dog Show. This month, some 2,000 of the country's finest canines converge in Philadelphia to compete in their respective categories for the furry finalists, the coveted title of the Best in Show. Have you ever been to a dog show? I have, many times. I'll tell you about that too. They represent 205 breeds from the Australian Shepherd to the Yorkshire Terrier. The contest will air Thursday, today on NBC, directly after the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade for the 22nd year in a row. You ever wonder how this works? The dogs of the hour are categorized into 7 groups based on their breed's characteristics and intended functions: sporting, hound, working, terrier, toy, non-sporting, herding. They compete within their categories for first in group. Then those 7 finalists face off for best in show. The winner gets the prestigious title and $20,000 in prize money. While every dog is the best dog, judges evaluate the hopefuls according to how closely each dog compares with the judge's mental image of the perfect dog described in the breed's official standard, based on qualities like appearance, temperament, and structure. And what I most love about this is the fact that it came into being this way. We have Christopher Guest's 2000 movie Best in Show to thank. It was so funny. John Miller, the president of programming for NBC Sports, watched the film, a satirical portrayal of a fictionalized dog show, at a movie night and realized the real thing could make for a Thanksgiving hit in the key window between the morning parade and the afternoon football. The dog show directly follows the Thanksgiving Day Parade, airs until 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and it too gets huge ratings. So I have been to a couple of dog shows. I'm trying to think in the Pennsylvania Convention Center, which is in Center City, Philadelphia, and then also um, a dog show in Oaks, Pennsylvania. But what I most remember, and I've said this on radio, but I'm going to say it again because it's Thanksgiving, and why not? My first dog was a Cocker Spaniel named Winston, and he was a handsome guy and had a lot of personality. He could be a bit cranky, but I wanted to have more Winstons. He had a variety of illnesses, and I was very naive to the dog world. Go figure. So I had this idea that I would I would find a mate for Winston. So I went to a dog show. Where the hell was it? I can think of it. Ludwig's Corner. Ludwig's Corner is where it was. I don't think I was yet married to my wife, but she was with me. I think we were dating at the time. So we go to this dog show. She was just, bemused by the whole thing. We go to this dog show, and imagine now you've got all these people who are coming out and competing because they think they've got show dogs. And Winston was a really good guy with a lot of personality, but he was not exactly a show dog. But I did not know that. So can you picture me with a Cocker Spaniel on a leash as I'm going like from stall to stall of all of these people? I know it sounds so idiotic in retrospect. Like, what was I smoking? All of these people they've got like their grooming tables, and in the Cocker Spaniel section, they're doing all the manicuring of their pet. They're clipping their nails and they're combing them and cleaning their ears. And here I am, just some 20-something schlub with a Cocker Spaniel on a leash. And I'm like, hey, how about your dog and my dog? Yeah, that did not happen. That did not happen. So I haven't voted yet. I haven't voted yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. If I had to pick just one, the National Dog Show or the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. It's a great Thanksgiving poll question. It is a great Thanksgiving poll question. What are you guys up to? Joe, dogs have shows, cats have houses. Like a cat house? Is that what you're saying? Thomas, Macy's. Anything Charlie Brown would be number one. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Would we still gather around for a Charlie Brown Christmas? I'm not sure. I mean, the nice thing, as I say, is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a great backdrop. The dog show you got to watch. But I love the personalities. I love the people who are into it and the way they treat their pets and so forth. So, yeah. All right, gang, listen. I wish you all good things on this Thanksgiving. Enjoy the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Enjoy the National Dog Show. Enjoy Detroit football. Enjoy it all. Don't eat too much. Tomorrow, I think we're going to be talking about whether Medicare and Medicaid ought to cover Ozempic. I was going to do that today. And then I came up with the idea of the better program for Thanksgiving Day. And I thought, that's nice. That's soft. And then tomorrow, when we're all feeling like we've eaten too much, maybe then we'll have the Ozempic poll question. So get along with everybody who is a butter knife away. Enjoy, mingle with people of a different political persuasion with whom you're sharing your Thanksgiving Day table. I appreciate all of you. What do I appreciate for Thanksgiving? I appreciate that I have people who watch videos, listen to the radio, subscribe to the newsletter, and watch me on CNN as well. I'll see you tomorrow at this same time. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it live. We'll do it live. Go have a good Thanksgiving. Enjoy the parade. Enjoy the dogs. Enjoy the football.